morning and welcome to the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce Chamber Vibes podcast. This is Kayla Waller, the Director of Marketing and Events for the Chamber, and we have so many really awesome things coming up in the next few months at the Chamber. Our last signature event of 2022 is going to happen this Saturday, November 12th. It's our Christmas holiday market, the 9th annual market. It's going to be at CVCC from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have photos with Santa, a Christmas card photo shoot, 40 vendors, a food truck, and it's just going to be a really fun time. We have the information on our website and our Facebook page, but if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at our office. And we have our last Align Before 9 networking event that's coming up on Tuesday, December 13th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. at the Bedford Welcome Center. They will be having their annual Festival of Trees going on, so you can come and grab breakfast and coffee, network with some chamber members, and get to see all the beautiful trees. So this morning I have a guest with us. We have Shelley Basinger from Bedford County. Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. Lots of coffee.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So you are the PIO for Bedford County. So will you just tell us a little bit about your position and kind of what that entails?
Absolutely. So I was hired in March of this year and a public information officer. So really handle anything communication related for the county. We've really been focusing on social media. The county itself didn't have a social media presence. A lot of the departments did. So we've been kind of working with all of them to be consistent and also starting up some county pages. Any press releases that go out, communicating with the media, that would fall under my role. Website development and web updates, that would fall under my role as well. I play a role at board meetings with our audiovisual communication system there. It's really, there's a ton of different things that we've kind of learned fall into this role. And when they hired me, they said, we're not exactly sure. We know kind of what you're going to do, but, keep an open mind. And I certainly have. So it's been really fun to kind of see what next project is around the corner.
Yeah, that is awesome. And we have a few things that we have some updates on today and just some projects that you guys are working on. So we can just get right into it. The first thing that has kind of been on everyone's mind lately is the personal property taxes. So I know you just have a quick little update about those.
Absolutely. We're working to communicate with the public on this issue. So personal property tax bills went out a couple of weeks ago. They were much higher than anticipated due to cars, vehicles, trucks, certain categories of personal property being worth more this year. This kind of plays into some financial issues that I won't go into. I'm not an expert on, but due to vehicle shortages and things like that, cars are just worth more right now. So they were assessed higher. But the board did recognize that these bills were on average in these certain categories: cars, trucks, motorhomes, motorcycles, and trailers, about 35% increases on average. So that's huge, for the average resident,
right,
in a bill to pay. So they held a special meeting, short notice, and voted to offer a 33% rebate in those 5 categories so that money is back in those residents' pockets. They also, with the treasurer, with the board's consent, extended the due date from December 5th of this year to January 31st, 2023. So right now we're working with 2 groups of people. We have people who've already paid their bill in full, and they'll be getting a rebate, and we're working out those details diligently with our staff. And then the other group are the folks who haven't paid yet, and they need to kind of know what amount they need to pay. So we're also working on that side of the coin as well. So we're just asking the public to be patient with us as we collaborate across numerous departments to get these questions answered.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I know that you guys have a new website in progress. You have a full overhaul going on of your website. So walk us through that project a little bit.
That's probably the biggest project I'm working on behind the scenes. It's kind of the long game. It's not my, some days I don't have to do as much on it. Other days it's busier, but we're shooting for the first part of 2023 to get this website launched. And yes, it's a complete overhaul. And if you really think about it, you probably feel the same way as I do. new. A website for whether a company or a locality is really the welcome mat, for when you're learning about them,
Right.
you go to check the website. And right
Yeah.
now our welcome mat, is a little dated and old. And so we're really excited to freshen that up for our look. And we're really improving, the way that information is organized on the website, making sure that people can navigate things more easily based on what they're looking for, updated maps. We've done photography for the last 6 months, just updating all of that and really trying to get more real people in our photos and less buildings, if you may. So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes, and I'm so excited to release it to the public when it's ready.
Yeah, and like you said, it's really the welcome mat for when people look up Bedford County. That's the first thing they're going to see is our website. So we want to keep it as updated and modern as we can.
Exactly. And it's more than just the look is important, but also just the functionality and
Oh
making
yeah.
sure you can find things. And there's a lot of, we can update the buttons on the main wireframe. We'll be able to update those and change them out, so
Mhm.
we can always have that flexibility with this new wireframe website that we're working on. And yeah, so we're really excited and hope that people will stay tuned for that and be excited with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome. I think it's a new website is something that for all companies, localities, whatever it is, it's so great for everyone involved. It's so much work behind the scenes, but just improving the functionality and the look of it is just awesome. So we also Bedford County is also under a contract with three internet service providers to bring high-speed internet to the area. So can you tell us just a little bit about the broadband project and kind of an update on that?
Well, and the backstory is that there are large expanses of Bedford County that have little to no internet access. If they do have it, it's not very reliable. It's not high speed broadband internet. So what we received in December of 2021 is about $25 million in grants from the Virginia Telecommunication Initiative to help fund these three contracts with three different internet service providers. They are Zytel, which is based down in Manita. It's actually a local company, Shintel, which a lot of people have heard of in this area, and River Street Networks. And they each have their own territory in the county where they're expanding their footprints, to provide this internet access. So because we were kind of the conduit for the grant, we are involved in the project management to kind of keep things moving along to make sure that they're meeting the benchmarks and all of that.
Mhm.
Because they do have a time limit as to when these build outs of broadband need to be completed. For example, River Street Networks has 36 months, Shintel 24 months, and Zytel, I believe, is 18 months. So there is a time frame here. We want to make sure this internet gets these people get hooked up to internet quickly. So, however, it is their own private company, so
Mhm.
we can't control necessarily exactly what streets they go down and different things like that. What they charge, that's on them. But we are involved in the project management and communicating with the public that this is moving along quickly and that they are doing what they need to do.
Yeah, and it's so important for our families and people in our county to be able to access reliable internet on a daily basis whenever they need to use it.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's huge for talking about the chamber podcast. I mean, it's huge for businesses. It's huge for people deciding to locate here. I mean, I've heard from a couple of people on our Facebook page that they're considering buying homes, and they saw our maps and they say, "Hey, is this home that I'm considering buying going to have this high speed broadband internet?" So, it's a very it's a must have in 2022, and we're getting there. I wish we were already there, but I can say that we're getting there, and these ISPs are, working really hard, and our team is too, to make sure that this all happens quickly.
Yeah, and speaking of people who are looking to relocate here and buy homes here, and the internet is a big part of that, but we're also just trying to get more people to move here in general to build our workforce back up after COVID, and we'll just really work on the recruitment for Bedford County. So how do you guys work with the county to increase recruitment?
Well, I'm super excited. We have a new human resources director that was brought on about 2 months ago, and she came from the city of Lynchburg. And so she's been kind of teaching us some things about what they were doing for recruitment there, and kind of catching us up and bringing us more into maybe modern day ways to reach that audience. So
Hmm.
we are really working on some new ways to recruit instead of just posting the job on our website and walking away. We are boosting Facebook ads, taking professional photography to have in those ads, using that photography. We're on some digital billboard marketing, which is very common. we're just going to have a bigger presence in general to get the word out about ourselves and brand ourselves, because we really feel like that's what Bedford County has been lacking, really a true brand and identity, for people to visibility, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you would say.
Right.
People know that Bedford County is around, but who are we? And why should you work here? And we're really trying to answer those questions moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have one kind of final update in the information that we talked about earlier this week, but it's our CTE awareness program. So can you tell us a little bit about the county's CTE programs?
Well, when I mentioned that, when they hired me, they said we kind of think you're going to do these things, but who knows what else will pop up. And I've been working with the school system a little bit, and our economic development team, and we've kind of collaborated and said, you know what, career and technical education programs in Bedford County are so important to the school system, obviously, but also to our economic development team, who are working to make sure that the students are prepared to enter the workforce. So
Mm-hmm.
really, we need to be collaborating on this. And there's been so much talk and chatter, over the past few months about, we have so many strong CTE programs in Bedford County Public Schools, but we don't really feel like the school system, students in the school system, teachers, parents know a lot about them,
Mm-hmm.
and the public doesn't know. What we're doing to fill the workforce. Businesses don't know that we have these strong programs in Bedford County. So what we're working on right now is a video campaign, and we have identified a video company to work on that for us. And we're going to highlight the CTE programs in Bedford County, and then kind of say why they're important. Explain to students, it's not that you have to choose CTE or college.
Mm-hmm.
You can do CTE programs in high school, and that you can still go to college.
Right.
It can still prepare you for your career. Because from what I've heard in the school system, these classes are hard. They're
Mm-hmm.
challenging, and they're meant to be that way. So there's a lot of opportunity. So we're working on a video to highlight that, and then that video campaign we'll release that and really use that not only on the website, on websites, all of our websites, social media, but also just have it there to play it in person. At orientations, teacher meetings, things like that, so that we really again brand. What is CTE in Bedford, and why should you care? If you're watching this video.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really awesome. I think, the county has so many awesome things that are going on behind the scenes that people may not always know about, but we can rest assured that you're working diligently on so many different projects. So I'll just do you have any final kind of thoughts about anything in Bedford? It is small business season. I don't know if I mentioned this to you earlier or not, but small business season runs from November 1st through the end of the year. So the chamber is kind of putting a push on just our small businesses in the area. We're encouraging people to get out, shop small. Even if you can't get out and physically shop small, you can do so many other things like referring a friend to a small business, checking in on Facebook, sharing a business's Facebook page. So, there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to do to help out our businesses in Bedford in this small business season.
Absolutely. I was going to say, as a final thought, follow Bedford County on Facebook, Bedford County, Virginia, but also to that point about small business season, our Bedford County Economic Development Facebook page is always highlighting local businesses, small businesses, and going behind the scenes with them. So that I would encourage, if individuals listening haven't followed that page either, they should as well, because we really are passionate, and our economic development team is very passionate about local small businesses and truly lives that out. That they're patronizing them and going in and buying too. So I really hope that now we're coming. We've been out of COVID for a while, and we're able to. I'm hopeful that the 2022 holiday season is strong for our small businesses, and I hope to play a part in that by
Yeah,
buying.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. And thank you guys for listening as well. If you have any questions about the chamber, you can call us. Our office number is 540-586-9401. And keep a lookout for the next Chamber Vibes podcast.